So hello friends, we are continuing the discussion today in this pharmacology classroom about the anti-glaucoma drugs, and I have given a full detailed no as much as you need in the pharmacology, the disease of glaucoma, what is the factors which are causing glaucoma, okay? And we have discussed also about something about congenital glaucoma, where the surgery is goniotomy, isn't it? So see, glaucoma is basically, we said yesterday, there is a rise in the intraocular pressure. There's a rise in the intraocular pressure. So we said, we stopped at this, I think. We said in the end that the previous part one of the glaucoma, we ended, I think, at either we will be decreasing the secretion or we will be increasing the outflow. This is what we will be doing. Okay. So these can be done by, you can decrease the secretion by beta blockers. We said yesterday the reason why alpha 2 agonists and carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Let us write the drugs. Please write this. This is the new topic today. Alpha 2 agonists and carbonic anhydrase inhibitor. Okay. And there will be, if you want to increase the outflow, what will be using? You'll be using miotics, dipivefrin, prostaglandins. Okay. So if you want to decrease the secretion of what? Aqueous humor guys, aqueous humor, or increase the outflow of aqueous humor, you can do this. Okay. Now, if you want to increase the outflow, what you will be doing? That means in that diagram of yesterday, which I have already drawn, I think that's here also. Do we have the diagram? Do we have the diagram, guys? Let me first find the diagram. Just give me a second. No, it's not here. So let us come back. Let us come back to this. So yeah, we have here, I think. So let us come here. So we can give these, decreasing the secretion and this. So if I want to give drugs for primary angle, open angle glaucoma, which drugs can I use? Yes. So I can use what? Let me write like this. Let me take them individually. This is beta blocker, this is alpha 2 agonist and carbonic anhydrase. Okay, let me take them. So number one, let us take about the decreasing the secretion. So if you want to decrease the secretion, you will have first beta blockers. Beta blockers, first line drugs of POAG. What is POAG? Primary open angle glaucoma. Primary open angle glaucoma. Okay. So I told you yesterday's diagram, we have those blood vessels in the ciliary process, and in the ciliary process, I will be doing a beta 2 vasodilatation. So beta 2, what they are doing? They are doing a vasodilatation. They are doing vasodilatation. Okay, and they also have receptors called alpha 2. Alpha 2 are vasoconstrictors. Vasoconstrictors. Okay, so they have alpha 2 also and beta 2 vasodilators. So what I will be doing, I will be giving. So for example, this is a blood vessel of this ciliary process. Okay, I take this blood vessel out here. Whenever you have this fluid here, this blood, you did a vasodilatation, for example, and you had more blood. This blood will now start making secretions here, isn't it? You will have more secretions here. So you will have secretions in this side, isn't it? You will have secretions. So these secretions will pile up and they will give you an aqueous humor. They will give you an aqueous humor. Okay. Will you give beta blocker? Yes, sir. We will block this so that they don't vasodilate. And we also give alpha agonist so that we can do vasoconstriction. So we finally lead to decrease of secretion of aqueous humor. Are we able to understand, guys? We lead to decrease in the secretion. So this is called. Okay, delete this and just delete this. Okay, delete this. Fine. So this is the aqueous humor. This is the aqueous humor. Thank you. So this aqueous humor, at least the people who are absent, they should be at least coming to class regularly. Okay. If you respect the class, then it's good. So this is decreasing the aqueous humor, and aqueous humor will be also here. So you have to decrease that aqueous humor so that you don't get the more amount of aqueous humor. Okay. So what are the beta blockers you would be using? They are using timolol, betaxolol, cartiolol, metipranolol, levubunolol, levobetaxolol, and what? This much. Okay, so these are the beta blockers which we'll be using to decrease the secretions. Okay, out of these, which is the longest acting? Levobunolol is the longest acting. It's the longest acting. Betaxolol is zoom. Betaxolol is cardioselective. Will you give it for the eye? Will you give for the eye? I have a question for you. Can you give this in the eye if it is cardioselective? Cardioselective. It is less efficacious. But if the patient we have for asthma, for example, or any COPD, it's safe to give in them, isn't it? Because cardioselective, safe to give. Okay. Now let us go to the, this was about the beta blockers. Let us go to the next, second one. This second one is, so first we wrote beta blockers. Now let me take you to alpha 2 agonists. Alpha 2 agonists, we have dipivefrin. Okay. From this you can get adrenaline. It's a prodrug. From dipivefrin you get adrenaline. And you know adrenaline has a function. It increases the trabecular outflow. Okay. Plus decreases aqueous secretion. plus increases uveoscleral outflow. Now you tell me, is uveoscleral outflow 90% or 10%? Uveoscleral outflow 10% or 90%? Very nice answer. So 10% outflow, that emergency exit, it is increasing. It's increasing. Okay, it's using that emergency route. Did you understand that route which we made yesterday? Do we know that? And this was the episcleral vein. Okay. So we can use these for this. Are we clear? So this outflow is increasing or this outflow is increasing? Which outflow, A or B? A or B is increasing. No. Right now when I am giving the drug, which is increasing, A or B? So A is increasing, isn't it? A is increasing. Okay. So next is there is one side effect of this epinephrine. It can cause conjunctival pigmentation. What this can do when you are giving this? It can do conjunctival pigmentation. Pigmentation. Okay. So black color. Which color? Black. Pigmentation of conjunctiva. Why? Because once this dipivefrin is given, this dipivefrin reacts with oxygen to form an oxide that is called adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. And this adrenochrome gives this black color. Because you are putting it in the eye, so it is that. Okay. Now this was alpha 2 agonist. I want to now tell you a selective alpha 2 agonist. Okay. Selective alpha 2 agonist. Selective alpha 2 agonists, we have what? Apraclonidine, brimonidine. Brimo. So apraclonidine, brimonidine. See, there is a one way to remember. How I remember is, what is the side effect? See, have a look. The name has it, the side effect. It is LID. So it is lead retraction. Lead retraction is the side effect. BR means brain depression. That means CNS depression. CNS depression. Okay. And it can also cause eye. Where is eye? Eye is this. Let us take eye as red. So this eye is this eye. This eye is called iridocyclitis. So iridocyclitis is the side effect. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Have we finished the alpha agonists? So what is remaining there? Carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Third is the carbonic anhydrase. Inhibitors. So carbonic anhydrase basically is responsible for increasing the secretion. When you have carbonic anhydrase, you will have secretion. When you don't have carbonic anhydrase, you will have decreased secretion. Okay, don't need to go into the detail of how secretion is being produced. Okay, we are here concerned about the pharmacology. So Ca increases secretion, carbonic anhydrase is increasing the secretion. But when you don't have this, so when you give any inhibitor, you will be decreasing the secretion, So what is that? We have oral acetazolamide and topical brinzolamide. Brinzolamide, topical dorzolamide. Topical dorzolamide. These are all what? They are all carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. So they will finally, what they will cause? They will decrease the aqueous humor secretion. That's what you want to do, isn't it? That's what you want to do. Okay. Because you are having the problem is that you are having a high intraocular pressure, which is because of the increase. If you have listened to yesterday's lecture. Okay. So have we done decrease the secretion? Have we seen what we are giving? So this is this. Now let me say increasing the outflow. So drugs increasing the outflow. So number one, we will go according to the whatever we have written. Okay, meiotics. Okay, let us write about meiotics. Meiotics means they will cause what? Meiosis, that is pupiloconstriction. Pupiloconstriction. So who can cause a pupiloconstriction? What sympathetic system does? Parasympathetic or sympathetic? Who will cause pupilomyiosis? Sympathetic or parasympathetic? Parasympathetic. Who is the neurotransmitter? Acetylcholine. What will you give here? Acetylcholine. But you won't give acetylcholine because you give a analogs, directly acting cholinomimetic like pilocarpine. Pilocarpine. This is the directly acting. I have taught you in the beginning. Directly acting cholinomimetic. Directly acting cholinomimetic. Or you can give indirectly acting. Which is the indirectly acting? Physostigmine. Indirectly acting is physostigmine. Physostigmine. Indirectly acting cholinomimetic. Okay. Now you tell me, if you are doing that, this is your lens. Okay. This was your suspensory ligament, ciliary body. Okay. Ciliary body. And this was the iris. This was for cornea. So if you make it small, if you do meiosis, will you actually increase the space of the angle? You are actually increasing the, that's why we are saying it is increasing the outflow. You are relieving this angle. Are we able to understand, guys? When you relieve this angle, you will be increasing the outflow. Are we clear? Increasing the outflow. Okay. So this is what the principle is. Meiotics. So where did we write this? Yeah. Where have we written this? Okay, we have written it here. So decreasing the increasing the outflow. So we have they will cause meiosis, isn't it? So which of the following is the shortest acting? It is the shortest acting. Pilocarpine is shortest acting. So do you have to give it many times a day if it is shortest acting? Will you give it in the many times a day? Yes, you have to give frequent dosages. So frequent dosaging is required. Okay. And we also have some long acting ones. We have long acting, but I want to tell you we are not using them. Long acting. What are the long acting? Demacurium icothiophyte. Demacarium and icothiophyte. Why? They have a side effect that is called cataract development. They cause cataract. They will increase the processes of cataract. Processes which are leading to cataract, they will accelerate them. They will accelerate them. The word used in the books is accelerate. They accelerate the process of cataract formation. Okay. And also one side effect is that these miotics, this is miotics. So C stands for cataract, S stands for stenosis of what? Punctal duct, punctal stenosis. Do you know you have puncta? You have puncta draining your lacrimal secretions. If I draw it like this is your eye, and you have an upper puncta and a lower puncta, and then going into the sac, and then draining into the nose. This is your upper puncta, lower puncta. So they get stenosed, and you will have watering eyes, isn't it? So you can have that dacrocystitis. Okay, we'll be learning that in the ophthalmology. Have we understood? Have we understood, guys? So let me take to the what else we have written. So we have written so this is miotics, dipepinephrine, and prostaglandins. Let me write about prostaglandins. Important question asked. Side effect asked about this. So not fourth. Actually, I should write second with green because we are increasing the outflow. So it is prostaglandin analogs, PG analog. Which prostaglandin increases the UV scleral outflow? PGF2 alpha. PGF2 alpha will increase the uvoscleral outflow. So that means do you want to increase the uvoscleral outflow or decrease? Do you want to increase the uvoscleral outflow or decrease? There is no answer. That means people are sleeping like me, isn't it? You want to increase, guys. You want to increase. What happened? You want to increase because you have already that main outflow is not doing the work. It's a primary open angle glaucoma. Okay, so you will be taking that uvoscleral outflow. So that is give an analog. Prostaglandins will increase that outflow. So which drugs behave like this? They will have prost in it. They will have prost in it. Like we have latanoprost. Like we have bimatoprost. Bimatoprost. Like they have unoproston. Uno. Do you know we used to play Uno? What a beautiful game. Uno. Uno, Uno. So that is unoproston. Unoproston. Don't you play? Have you played Uno, guys? Cards, Uno. Okay, unoproston. So unoproston, these all are PGF2 alpha derivatives. And they are the drug of choice for primary open angle glaucoma. They have a side effect that is called hypertrichosis. They will increase your eyelash. They will increase the eyelash. That's why we use this side effect in patients. It's an adverse effect, by the way. Adverse effect. Let me write clearly. Adverse effect. Hypertrichosis. That is, they will increase the eyelashes. But we have used this as a treatment for hypotrichosis in patients who have no, they don't have those eyelashes. Some of them they have some eyelashes they have. Okay, I can't say they don't have, and they will then that term will be atrichosis. But there is a side effect with the use of this. They can cause famous, if you can understand, PGF2 alpha. Pigmentation of iris has side effect. Iris gets colored. Pigmentation of iris. Some people, some patients tell me I want to increase the eyelash, but at the same time I tell them don't use these things. Never use these things without the consultation of an experienced and talented and a practitioner, preferably a ophthalmologist, isn't it? Because he has spent his life studying eye only. So you should kindly visit the ophthalmologist, not even the eye technician. Okay, you should not use the drugs by yourself, any drug, because eyes are your life. If anything happens, then for whole life you won't be able to forgive yourself. So don't use these things for cosmetic purposes. God has bestowed you with so beautiful everything. Should be happy with that. Don't try to manipulate unless and until you have a disease. Thank God for everything, any eye he has given you. See how many side effects is there. It can cause what? G for eyelash growth. And macular edema. F for fluid. So macular edema. Macular edema. Okay. And macular edema mostly if patient has aphakia. What is aphakia? No lens. What is aphakia? No lens. Do we know the definition of aphakia? What is aphakia? What is aphakia, guys? No lens in the eye. For example, a person has gone for a cataract surgery. Okay. Or he had a congenital anomaly. Okay. So he will have those issues of accommodation and all. Okay. Anterior chamber problems. So aphakia. So if a patient has aphakia, it will mostly cause macular side. That is called actually cystoid macular edema. Which type? Cystoid. Cystoid macular edema in those patients who are using it. Okay. So I think this is sufficient for your POAG. This is for all for treatment for POAG we were discussing. Okay. Sir, what to do for closed angle glaucoma? See, it is basically a surgical condition. Okay, so we will go for any sort of an iridectomy or we will go for a laser iridectomy. It depends. Okay, so let me write treatment here for you so that you can understand. So closed angle glaucoma. How to write? Where to write, guys? Just right here. So closed angle glaucoma. Closed angle glaucoma. So what we do? The treatment is peripheral iridectomy. Or you can go for iridectomy. Okay, can use a laser also. So we can use when in this surgery, pre-operative assessment, and during that we can give some miotics We can give also carbonic anhydrase inhibitors with that. We can give mannitol, a diuretic. Okay. So if you get a patient who is having that, he comes to you with that acute problem of having that, what you will give? You can start an IV acetazolamide. IV acetazolamide. Okay. And if you found that a person has POAG in one eye, you should do the iridotomy also on the unaffected eye, because he will get that. Okay. So both the eyes will go for surgery. Are you able to understand? Are we able to understand, guys? So what is the drug of choice for POAG? PGF2 analogs. Okay. Which drug will cause CNS depression? Which drug will cause CNS depression? Very nice. So you will have brimonidine, apraglonidine. So which drugs can cause uh, you know which drugs can have adverse effect red eye? Which can have adverse effect as red eye? Red eye. So it is non-selective alpha 2 agonists. Red eye will be the okay. So now I give the patient, for example, I give him a drug and he is telling me, doctor, I am feeling as if I'm feeling that it is, I have red eye, I have some allergic symptoms. Okay. Or I have, if he is not complaining of any burning sensation or something, I will suspect it as an adverse effect of non-selective adrenergic drugs. But if he says I have burning eye, ocular burning, I have conjunctivitis, which is allergic, then I will say it is alpha 2. Then it is alpha 2 problem. Alpha 2 agonist, sorry. Adverse effect. Are we able to understand, guys? Okay. So this is, we complete the drugs which are used in glaucoma. This will definitely help you in the ophthalmology and in your career. Okay. So red eye is the for dipivafrin and adrenaline. Okay, conjunctival hyperemia, guys. It's not that pigmented. I'm saying conjunctival hyperemia. I'm talking about conjunctival hyperemia, red eye. You are sleeping in the class, I think, isn't it? So you should sleep. Okay, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. I have tried to make it more concise and understandable. And I also have made the first part to understand the disease of glaucoma. So this video was all about drugs. So hope you have enjoyed this session. Please subscribe to my channel for future videos. I will be making your life easy. I will try to make that easy so that you can understand the art and beautiful subject very nicely. Okay. So take care. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.